Hi guys, Dave here with a new guitar lesson for you. Today we're going to look at the guitar solo to Mama by Steve Lukather. The band obviously is Toto and the album was Hydra. Okay, the whole thing's in the key of E minor, and for most of it he uses the E natural minor scale, so just as a point of reference. And the general feel of it is kind of it's swung, so it's kind of like a 16th note kind of feel underneath the whole thing. Okay, the whole solo starts off with this phrase. Interesting this first bending lick, because he does the first one where it's 17th fret on the E and you're bending up a tone, 2 frets. Picks it again with an upstroke, lets it back down, rebends, and each time he picks it, it's going to be on an upstroke. So it's always on like the second 16th note that he picks. So it's an interesting kind of phrase. So that's for like the first 2 beats he does that, and then he does another down pick this time, bends it up, and then re-picks on the upstroke. Releases down, and then plays 15, and then a little 16th note triplet here. That's 14, 15, 14, and it's a hammer pull off. And then play 17 twice on the B string. Like so. Then he does a bunch of sliding octaves, basically. For 3 of these. So first one's going to be sliding into 12 on the G, then 15 on the E. Then we come down 1 fret, so that's 11G, 14E. And then one more. Slide 9 on the G, 12 on the E. Like that. To finish off, he does this. We slide 11G. And then 10, 12 on the E. And add a little vibrato on the end. Like that. Okay, next phrase. So this is another kind of Steve Lukather trademark thing to do. So slide 7 on the G, 8 on the B, and then 10 on the E. So it's almost like a G power chord. Then bend 10 on the B, upper tone. Now while it's still bent, you're going to put your finger down on fret 11, play it, then re-pick the bend, release, pull off onto 8. You hear something quite similar in the solo to Rosanna, in fact. Alright. Worth noting that he takes his time releasing the bend as well. It kind of gives it a certain kind of character when he does that. Then the next phase. So that's 8 on the B, bend upper tone. Then we're going to slide 10 to 12 on the E, re-pick 12, then we're going to go 10B, 10E, and then we're going to bend on 12 upper tone. We're going to hold that bend. We're going to play it 4 times in all, and on the 4th one you're going to release it down, pull off onto 10, and then play 12 again. So you get It's worth noting on that last bit, he kind of pulls back on the beat quite a lot when he's playing it, and again it adds, you know, real nice character to the phrase when he does that. So it's kind of like triplets, but he's really pulling back on the beat, like behind the beat when he does it. And then the last kind of bend release pull off is kind of more rushed as a result of that. Okay, the next phrase is interesting. So we can get into this, it's kind of like a pedal note idea really. We're going back to like the 12th fret quite a lot on this one. So it's going to go 14 E, 12B, 14 E, then slide into 12B, and then we're going to go 15 E, 12B, 15 E. And we're going to slide up. This time slide into 15 on the B, and then 17 E, 15 B, 17 E. Then we're going to do that move again, slide, then slide into 15 one more time, and then for that last bit, that's 17, bending upper tone, release, pull off, bend twice basically. Then add vibrato on that last one. Like so. Right, so for this part, we're bending from the 19th fret and we're bending up 3 frets, tone and a half. Cut it off at the top, then play 19, 18, 17, 15. And they're all kind of very cut off staccato. So once you pick the note, put your pick back on the string to cut it off. Like that. And then we get a typical blues lick here. So that's bend and release 17th fret. So that's just a tone or half a tone. I think I've written here. Both work very well. And then, yeah, finishing off on 17 on the B there. And then before we get into the fast run, you get this kind of end of a triplet. So 17, and then bending time, upper tone, then play 15, 17 on the E. And then we get into this little run. First one is a group of 6. So on the E, it's going to go 15, 14, 17, 15, 14, and then 17 on the B. Like that. Then we get some descending 4s. So that is... I've got it as 15, 14 on the E, then 17, 15 on the B, then 14. So that's one group of 4. And then you're just coming back on yourself, 14, 17, 15. Sorry, yeah, I should say the strings. So 14 E, and then on the B string, 17, 15, 13. And then for the next group, it ends up being a group of 7. So it's slightly slower than the last beat. So it's a 7 in a beat. I don't think he really intentionally plays a group of 7. He's just basically going for it, and that's how it's ended up grouping in this beat. So it starts with a slide into 12 on the B, and then we've got 15, then pull off 13 to 12, then 14 on the G, and then pull off 13 to 12 again on the B. So we end up with that on the next beat. And then for the beat 4, we've just got 14 on the D, 14-12 on the G, then 14D again, 14G, and then 12G. So, and again, it's not exactly a group of 6 in as much as they're not evenly spaced. It's almost like it's 5 beats, and then the second one is like a little double. Again, I won't worry too much about it. He's just trying to squeeze these notes into the beat, so I don't think he's thinking too rhythmically at this point. Okay. Then the next bit. So this is just 1 fret bend and release, 11 on the G. So 11th fret, yeah, just 1 fret bend and release. Plays 12 on the D. Then he re-picks it, and it's more of a pinched harmonic the second time he hits it. Then 14 D and then 12 A. And then we get this. This is all on the A string, just 10, 12, back to 10. And then we get this little bend and release in time with the music, and again it's a 16th note fill. So it's kind of 3 times, I think. And then you just hit the open E. Now, if you're doing this on a Strat, you can just dive bomb it and then bring it back up to pitch. It basically just goes down about a tone. I'm doing it on a Les Paul, as you can see, only because I think it sounds closer to the recording. So I don't know if he did this or not, but this is what I do. I've just played the string. You can't sort of slide out of camera shot here, but I'm just going to take the peg and just detune it. And then bring it up to pitch. So if you're doing this on a fixed bridge guitar like a Les Paul or Telecaster or whatever, that's a way around that part of the solo. Yeah, tone-wise it sounds more like a Les Paul than a Super Strat. I could be wrong though, of course, but I found this worked really well on a Les Paul. Okay guys, that's the end of the solo. Hope you get a lot from it, and I will see you for one real soon.